In 2011, a rising executive at Yahoo named Tim Morse was acting as interim CEO. He was competent, well-liked, and had steadied the company during a turbulent time. When the board hired a new permanent CEO, Scott Thompson, Morse expected to stay on as CFO and trusted partner. Instead, within months, he was pushed out. His crime wasn't failure, it was the opposite. During his interim leadership, Morse had been too visible, too capable, too obviously competent. He made the new CEO look like he wasn't needed. This pattern repeats constantly across corporate America. Someone talented rises fast, they outperform, they get noticed, and then quietly they disappear. Not because they failed, because they succeeded in a way that threatened the wrong person. Today, I'm going to teach you what Robert Greene called the most important law of power. The law that, when violated, has ended more promising careers than any lack of talent ever could. Never outshine the master. But here's what makes this video different. I'm not just going to warn you, I'm going to give you a tactical framework, the exact method to excel, to rise, to win, without triggering the destruction instinct in your superiors. We'll also cover the exceptions, because this law doesn't apply equally in every situation. I'll tell you when to follow it and when breaking it might actually be the right move. Stay until the end. Let's begin. Readiness. Sarah didn't do anything wrong, she just did something threatening. Now here's where most career advice fails you. They tell you to do great work and you'll be recognized. They tell you to let your results speak for themselves. That advice isn't just incomplete, it can be dangerous. When your results speak loudly, sometimes they say, this person might be better than their boss. And depending on your boss, that message doesn't lead to promotion, it leads to problems. I'm not saying this happens everywhere or with every manager. There are exceptions, bosses who genuinely want to elevate talent. We'll get to those later, but the pattern is common enough that you need to understand it before it catches you off guard. Now that you understand why this law exists, let me give you a framework for navigating it. I call it the 3 zones of performance. Zone 1, the invisible zone. This is where you underperform. You fly under the radar. Nobody notices you because there's nothing to notice. Some people think this is safe. It's not. In the invisible zone, you're first on the layoff list, last for opportunities, and slowly forgotten by anyone who matters. Invisibility isn't safety, it's stagnation with extra steps. Zone 2, the threat zone. This is where you outperform your boss in ways that are visible to people above them. Your work makes them look slow. Your ideas make theirs seem stale. Your results highlight what they're not delivering. In the threat zone, you trigger that status threat response I mentioned earlier. Your boss may not consciously decide to undermine you, but they'll start noticing problems they didn't notice before. Your attitude, your fit, your communication. Suddenly, the high performer has issues. Zone 3, the strategic zone. This is where you want to operate. In the strategic zone, you excel, but in ways that make your boss look good in the process. You solve problems they can present upward. You generate wins that reflect on the team. You become an asset to their success, not a threat to their position. This requires some ego management. Most talented people resist it. They can't accept making someone less talented look good. But here's what they miss. Making your boss look good is often the fastest path to replacing your boss. Let me explain how. There's a specific tactical approach I want to teach you. I call it the credit transfer technique. Before I explain what it is, let me be clear about what this is not. This is not about erasing your contribution. It's not about letting your boss steal your work. It's about strategically aligning your wins with their wins so that your fingerprints and your boss's fingerprints are on the same successes. Here's how it works. Step 1, identify the victory. Every quarter, identify one significant win you can create. A problem solved, a client saved, a process improved, revenue generated. This is your leverage. Step 2. Execute with limited broadcast. Do the work, but don't announce it to the world as you go. Avoid sending company-wide emails about your progress. Don't bring it up in meetings where senior leadership is present without your boss there. Keep the execution phase relatively contained. Step 3. Transfer the announcement opportunity. When the victory is complete, give your boss the chance to announce it. Send them a private message. I wanted to let you know we resolved the X problem. Thought you might want to share the update with leadership since you've been overseeing this initiative. You've just handed them a gift, a victory they can claim, a moment they can own in front of their bosses. Step 4. Be present for the afterglow. When leadership congratulates your boss, make sure you're visible, not speaking over them, not correcting or claiming, just present. Here's what happens over time. Your boss knows you're the engine behind these wins. Most managers, especially decent ones, appreciate having someone who makes them look legendary. They'll want to keep you, protect you, and yes, eventually promote you. Meanwhile, the smart executives notice patterns. They see your boss winning, and they see you consistently in the room when those wins happen. When your boss moves up or moves out, who do you think gets considered for the opening? The person who was connected to all those victories. This is how you rise without triggering destruction. You become so valuable to your boss's success that promoting you becomes in their interest, not against. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds like I'm supposed to babysit my manager's ego forever. No, this law has clear exceptions. Knowing when not to follow it is just as important as knowing when to follow it. Exception 1. The doomed boss. If your boss is clearly on their way out, if leadership has lost confidence in them, the calculus changes completely. In this case, transferring credit to them makes you look like part of their failure. You need to distance, not support. How do you know if your boss is doomed? Watch for these signals. They're excluded from meetings they used to attend. Their projects are being quietly reassigned. Their boss starts communicating directly with you, bypassing them. Leadership asks you privately for honest assessments of team performance. When you see these signs, stop transferring credit. Start building direct relationships upward. The ship is sinking, and you need to be visibly on the lifeboat, not going down with the captain. Exception 2. The sponsoring boss. Some managers, rarer than you'd hope, but they exist, genuinely want to develop talent. They see your success as a reflection of their leadership. They mentor you specifically to replace them. But test before you assume. Ask yourself, when I've succeeded publicly in the past, did my boss celebrate or subtly redirect? When leadership praised me, did my boss amplify it or change the subject? Their response to your small successes tells you exactly how they'll respond to your large ones. Exception 3. The protected position. If you've built a strong relationship with your boss's boss, a skip-level alliance, you have a layer of protection. In this case, you can be somewhat more visible because your boss knows that undermining you would be noticed by.
Exception 1. The doomed boss. If your boss is clearly on their way out, if leadership has lost confidence in them, the calculus changes completely. In this case, transferring credit to them makes you look like part of their failure. You need to distance, not support. How do you know if your boss is doomed? Watch for these signals. They're excluded from meetings they used to attend. Their projects are being quietly reassigned. Their boss starts communicating directly with you, bypassing them. Leadership asks you, privately, for honest assessments of team performance. When you see these signs, stop transferring credit. Start building direct relationships upward. The ship is sinking, and you need to be visibly on the lifeboat, not going down with the captain. Exception 2. The sponsoring boss. Some managers, rarer than you'd hope, but they exist, genuinely want to develop talent. They see your success as a reflection of their leadership. They mentor you specifically to replace them. If you have this type of boss, you can shine more openly. Their ego is secure enough to handle your growth. But test before you assume. Ask yourself, when I've succeeded publicly in the past, did my boss celebrate or subtly redirect? When leadership praised me, did my boss amplify it or change the subject? Their response to your small successes tells you exactly how they'll respond to your large ones. Exception 3. The protected position. If you've built a strong relationship with your boss's boss, a skip-level alliance, you have a layer of protection. In this case, you can be somewhat more visible because your boss knows that undermining you would be noticed by someone who matters. But be careful. This exception creates its own risks. Your boss may feel surveilled, watched, and paranoid bosses are unpredictable bosses. Use skip-level relationships for protection, not as a license to flaunt. Let me zoom out and show you where this law fits across your career. Early career, years 1 through 10. Following this law is essential. You're building your reputation. You're learning how organizations actually work. You're accumulating skills, credibility, and relationships. During this phase, making enemies is costly. Industries are smaller than they look. People talk. A boss you embarrassed in 2024 could be the hiring decision maker at your dream company in 2029. Your goal in this phase, be excellent and non-threatening. That's a powerful combination. Mid-career, years 10 through 20. The law still applies, but with more flexibility. By now, you've developed your own power base, direct reports, client relationships, specialized expertise. This gives you leverage. In this phase, you can be more visible, but with political awareness. Every moment of brightness should be weighed against its potential cost. Late career. If you've played it well, you become the boss, and now you'll face ambitious subordinates who trigger the same instincts I described at the start. The question becomes, will you react the way others reacted to you? Or will you become the rare leader who elevates talent rather than suppressing it? That's a different topic, but it starts with understanding that this dynamic doesn't disappear. It just changes seats. Let me leave you with this. The people who built enduring careers, who rose without being destroyed along the way, weren't always the smartest. They often weren't even the most talented. They were the most strategic. They understood that organizations run on ego, insecurity, and hierarchy, and they learned to navigate those forces instead of pretending they didn't exist. Never outshine the master isn't about shrinking yourself. It's about being smart with your shine. Make your boss look good today. Make yourself irreplaceable tomorrow. And when the opening appears, when it's finally your moment, step into the light. When you do, no one will be surprised. They'll just wonder what took so long. If this reframed how you think about your career, subscribe. More corporate warfare tactics are coming. And remember, in the game of organizational power, the person who shines brightest often burns out fastest. The strategist who shines smart wins in the end. Until next time.